And we are back, homies. Yeah, the title. Yep, the title. The title's just a joke. Let me put that in the chat so no one gets pissy. Did it mostly as a joke. Because of the constant labels. Yeah, trust me, I'm gonna become Magneto very soon. Fighting for mutant rights and stuff, you know? Alright, so the microphone is good. The title is a joke, and we are going to start the rewind, people. Alright. Alright. Alright, so we left off last time at the, Fudge. We left off last time at the Indiana Jones review, so I could show one of my AMVs right here, but I really don't feel like it. But I will say, oh boy, this just came to my mind. I'm probably gonna have to acknowledge this real quick. Yeah. For those of you guys who do not know, my dog Patch tragically passed away this year, and it was kind of hard for me. I mean, it was kind of inevitable because he was pissing everywhere in his last few years. He had diabetes. He was going blind, and yeah. Wow, the irony. Me dressed up as Daredevil and my dog is Black Panther. So yeah. Rest in peace, Patch. He's been with me. He's been with me all my life, and he's been with me after throughout all the three houses I moved into. I will miss him. I miss him. So yeah. Alright, so this right here, the VisiPop Die Young mixed with Key of Awesome Die Young. This is my most viewed video this year. I'm kind of proud about that, while at the same time kind of not. I mean, mostly did it because Kesha was in Hell of a Boss, and I was starting to get into Key of Awesome at the time, so yeah. I love Key of Awesome, so yeah. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the comments. Let's take a look at some of the comments right here, folks. VisiPop's fanbase in a nutshell. Yeah, I'm glad I put this in there because, I'm pretty sure no one else would have done it. Okay, so apparently this guy did this version of the video. Zabanez. Finally, got it. Glowstick Clown. This has Beyonce's character. I just give no fucks, so I just keep on mistaking the actual singer for fucking Katy Perry and shit. All right, Fudger with these names. We're not gonna go over useless videos in my opinion, but we're just gonna go over some of my major videos right here. So yeah. Nah, fudge.
I'd hate to wake up one morning and find out she was killed in a rock slide. I'll show you a rock slide!
Okay, so for those of you who do not know, that is a voice line from Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Me personally, I am not a fan of that movie, but at the same time, it was one of the funniest. It was one of the better lines of the movie. Again, to quote the Nostalgia Critic, it's the greatest of the 20th Century Fox Fantastic Four movies. That doesn't mean it's great, but so I'm like, hey, this fits in pretty well with Tremor because Mortal Kombat is coming out. But hey, Tremor's not playable, so fuck my life. So yeah. All right, we got 3 viewers in here, but one of them's my phone, sadly. So yeah. Anyway, let's get on to this one because I kind of like this video. So this right here came from a live stream. The live stream is still up. I think I leaked it in the comments. Yes, I did. But so this is an animation that came from a live stream of mine. I wonder what that person is doing now. Does he got a mask on? Yeah, he's got a mask. But yeah, Oh, this video is kind of funny. You know, I was reading like a fan fiction. It was like Pokemon going to high school, and this was like back to school shopping. So yeah, why do people keep leaving my streams?
I mean, if you're shopping on Black Friday, it's definitely a crowd, especially because there's a lot of black folks. Wait, what?
See, it was in the title. Don't start complaining, people. Hold on. That kid kind of looks like Chris Rock, doesn't he? He kind of looks like Chris Rock because I watched a movie last night. It was called Head of State. Yeah. He kind of does look like Chris Rock. And that guy, is that Martin Luther King? I don't know.
Okay, I'll stop. Alright then, we're going. Lucario, are you coming?
I actually still have these PNG images because, you know, I do like voice acting skits on my voice acting channel, my comic dub channel. But yeah.
He nodded and kissed me.
That was in the fanfiction, people. That was in the fanfiction. Again, I had fun cringing at it, while I also had fun, you know, putting my own spin onto it.
Stop with the kisses! Oh god, I swear to god, I'm gonna go dig up Michael Jackson's grave if I hear another
How
kiss.
come they didn't animate that like Michael Jackson's grave?
Thing. A few minutes later, we arrived at the Pokemart.
Ah, Kmart, remember that? Did they go out of business? Or was it just in my state? Because in my area, there used to be like a Kmart, and, you know, it closed, and now it's a bunch of apartments. I don't know why we keep building new homes in Colorado, but hey, you know, get out of my state, Californians. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you know, here we got the Pokemart, you know.
So what exactly do we need? I asked.
Meh, just a bunch of boring school items.
My brother
Hey,
responded.
at least I tried there, you know, doing the talking, stuff like that.
I quickly see me and Lucario's friends. Lopunny, Raichu.
So, I say in the stream that this is what actually happens. It doesn't because, you know, my sense of humor, but again. So, yeah.
Johnny Ray, Johnny Cage, Ron Weasley, Gandalf the
If that
Grey.
actually wasn't the fan fiction, it'd be the best one ever. It'd be the best thing ever. Gandalf, Ron Weasley, Johnny Cage, Johnny Ray.
Subject Delta.
Subject Delta! Subject Delta from BioShock 2! Oh, yeah, one... Subject Delta is one of my favorite video game characters, you know, of all time. I just love him as a character. Iceman, you know, that's my boy, you know. Shadow, do you love those biceps? You know, they retcon Iceman as gay, Shadow Micah, so I think he might want you.
Iceman, Firestar, Mewtwo.
Firestar. I say more characters in the stream, but I didn't give a damn to, you know, just animate it, so yeah.
Was also a close friend, but he mostly likes to be alone.
The fucking emo haircut. I always have a soft spot for like emo Photoshop images, like what is it? Finding Emo by Emp Lemon. So yeah.
Because he likes to jerk off all the time. No, seriously, it actually says it right here. It likes to
That is way ahead of my time, people. Way ahead of my
jerk
time.
off all the time. But he dates Firestar too.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
if he likes to jerk off, where's his penis? Okay, I'll stop. He also dates Firestar too. So yeah. Yeah, I believe in the stream I mentioned Spider-Man and Batman and fucking Rambo and stuff like that. It's hilarious. You know, there's some other videos that... Alright, the Batman review. I could say out of all of the episodes of Media Reloaded so far, the Batman review is my least favorite. I don't hate it, it's just that, you know, I don't really do too much with it. So... You know, I just love this movie's set design, you know. Hold on. I don't know if I'll get copyright claimed, but hey.
And does have a good line here and there.
Then he had to...
I also like his introduction. I already criticized him for being a side character, but his introduction where he's treated like a random-ass dude is freaking phenomenal.
You know, I actually really love critiquing movies, because I just point out the smallest thing possible, because that's, like, part of my review, you know, stuff like that. But yeah. Hold on.
Compared to later Jokers, which is how he's usually depicted.
If you can hear the music in the background, that is Dementio's theme from Super Paper Mario, which fits the Joker very well. Wait till they get a little load of me.
Get a load of me.
He has the dumbass symbolism, which is something I hate. The rest of Jack Nicholson's performance is really good. He does his own gun dance. Speaking of guns, he has his own King gun. which he tricks into being a gun.
Yeah, I
then
thought that was gonna be a cane for a second when I first watched this movie.
a cane, and then a gun.
Again,
Which
I
is-
grew up with the rest of this era of Batman, but I never grew up with this for some reason. Yet this was the music in this movie was used in the Lego Batman video game. Really good game, by the way. Hope they re-release it, you know. Like, if your kids want to get into the Arkham games, I highly recommend letting them play Lego Batman 2 for the Wii, because that game's underrated gem. But yeah.
a lot more historical movies.
Alright,
mostly
so
because
I
of my
released both a Oppenheimer and a, Barbie review, because both movies are coming out on the same day, and, the Oppenheimer review got 229 views, which makes sense, because, the memes at the time, but yeah.
American history through his hair gets grayer.
Basically, wow, what a coincidence. Here, and then flipping here, but yeah. I enjoyed making this video. I mean, I was originally going to do movie reviews based off, movies that came out, but, given the content that I already make, like, I'm like, not too much work, so I ended with Haunted Mansion, that's it. So yeah, Barbie review. I'm not gonna speak, I'm just gonna let this review speak for itself on why I love this video.
Why in the hell was this movie ever made? People worked on this movie. People financed this movie. People acted in this movie. Not AI, real humans. People made this Rosa Parks of a movie. People
Okay, let me explain the Rosa Parks joke. It's because she was like a civil rights activist, and the Betty White thing, she was also a civil rights activist. I think she was, but I heard she helped people, similar to Rosa Parks. My teacher told me that, but yeah, that's why I did that. The fact that Betty White died before her 100th birthday party is just insane.
made Betty White roll in her
I mean, hey, she lived a
grave.
long life, so yeah.
Okay, enough rage for the rest of the video. To be honest, if there were any other reason than the two reasons I saw this movie, I probably would have never seen this movie at all. I only saw this movie for one, my mother, because, she bought me a ticket anyway, even though I didn't want to see it. And two...
Okay, I don't think I ever said this in the review, but because of how preachy and cringy this movie was, I walked out of the theater for 20 minutes twice because I couldn't stand this fucking movie and its preachiness. Oh my god. Patriarchy, patriarchy, patriarchy. It's hard to be a woman, and I'm like, I'm out. I just marched out of the theater for 20 minutes twice in this hour and 54-minute movie. I just looked at it.
I just released my Oppenheimer review, and I need the ad revenue. Future ad revenue, by the way. So let's start off with the positives of this
This
movie.
pink is
because
burning
there's
my
quite a few.
eyes.
The set design is alright, except most of it is pink. It made my eyes bleed in the theater.
Hold on, I want to
No,
get to this
seriously.
joke.
If
This
there
joke
is
is
too
what my
much
friend
pink
really
anywhere,
likes.
Huge marketing campaign a week before this movie came out that it was very feminist. True. This movie is the pinnacle of man-hating.
It is.
We call it a reverse go into the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
A reverse go into the kitchen and make me a sandwich. That's like one of my favorite jokes I ever did. But instead of women, it's men. But yeah. Let's read some of the comics here, Yep, this is my friend. He loves that joke. Yeah, man, I didn't even want to see this movie in the first place. Same. I didn't want to see it because it was woke. I didn't want to see it because it didn't appeal to me, alright? I didn't care. Even after it was announced that it was going to be woke, I also didn't care. So, yeah. Yep, there's Finn McCool. He is pretty McCool, I must say. People made this movie. 5 out of 10. Yeah, I could see your point, Bro, the next dealer. So I looked up Dealer after that. Apparently he's some, streamer or something. I don't know. You do know this movie made $1 billion, right? Yes, I did. And frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I've been quoting that a lot. Oh yeah, Paul Moses. In case Paul Moses ever comes across the stream, let me tell you why I keep you around. Because I kind of want. People with different viewpoints on my side, stuff like that. Like, I kind of want to see people with different viewpoints, stuff like that, because I kind of like debating people, even though yeah, politics is really bad on my mental health and, you know, stuff like that. I need to stay off the fucking internet. Especially since every YouTuber is getting political now. Seriously, what happened to everyone? It's like, back then we were more focused on playing video games for a living and doing animations. Nowadays it's patriarchy and capitalism and fucking, you know, Christians bad. You will not believe how many YouTubers have gone down the Christian bad route. You will not believe that. Oh boy. Yeah, you know, I just hate everyone on the fucking platform now, so yeah. Dream's response, but I removed the yapping. Yeah, he was accused of stuff. Yeah, I don't care. I don't follow the Dream. Who knows? Maybe I might watch it later on, but I don't care. But, anyway, update going on 30. I'm probably gonna privatize that one in the future. But, Haunted Mansion. I actually like this one, because I brought a good criticism to a movie that just came out. Hold on. The opening joke.
Thunderbird from the X-Men is in this movie. Thunderbird, 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 Thunderbird.
Crackers.
Namor is also in this movie.
He actually is. Thunderbird and Namor are actually in the movie. There's like figures of them in this movie. Like I remember sitting in the theater and I was like, is that Thunderbird? And I was like fanboying in my seat. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I want to be best friends with the writer. I want to be best friends with the director. Yeah, and also a Storm figure is also in this movie, so yeah.
But it's comic Namor and not wet Namor. I could
Get it?
criticize
'Cause
this
he's
movie
Mexican?
for its blatant corporatism because Disney owns Marvel, but the character choices that they use, I'm gonna let it slide. Before I get into the rest of this video, I have to acknowledge that I am a huge fan of the Disney theme parks.
That is kind of changing because the one thing I hate about the Disney theme parks are the fucking little kids. Oh my god. Every corner I turn, there's a little kid going, where? Every time I hear that, I want to be like that episode in Family Guy where Brian's like, where? You like that, huh? Where? Where?
I'm more of a Universal fan myself, mostly because it appeals to me as a young adult. But I still like Disney
Wow, I just dropped the bomb. I just dropped the Muslim bomb.
these parks regardless. And the fact that this movie has the California version and the Florida version as different locations in this movie.
They do, actually. They do. It's actually really cool. Yeah, you know, it's just me blabbering about, you know... Hold on.
Phoning tokens.
So the joke is she's... No. The husband is boning token white ladies. Yeah, that's the joke. Boning tokens, yeah. Yeah, barely anyone watched this video. I kind of feel like no one really cares about me. So yeah, they all they care about are the fucking has-been hotels and shit. Yeah, Jared Leto. Jared Leto is the Hatbox Ghost. That's perfect casting to me. But yeah, you know, I wanted to like this movie, but again, after the flaws, I haven't rewatched it since it came out in theaters, but after the flaws, I'm like, nah, it's still okay, but it's still fun. It's not woke, actually, you know, that's the good thing. This video. There's gonna be some videos where I'm just gonna pause because, like, the Edith Finch review, this one's one of my favorites so far. So, you know, the idea of making, the entire thing, like, you know, the story like, the video with the storyboard like that, that came from a YouTube channel called, God, I forgot the name, but, you know, they did a analyzation of Watchmen, but it's more high-tech, and, you know, it's kind of similar to this, so that's where I got the inspiration to make this from, you know? And I feel like it's a perfect way to tell the story, you know?
The following video is a video game essay mixed in with my sense of humor, so there might be jokes not fit for everyone. Anyway, enjoy the video.
Sense of humor in a game where a baby dies in a bathtub. And a guy kills himself on a guillotine, an imaginary one, at a cannery. I love this game.
Finch is one of my favorite video games of all time, for its story, its themes, its gameplay, and today I'm going to explain all of it. And take a break from the action stuff I usually do. The story is about a young woman who is the title character. She is pregnant and putting her child in danger for the sake of finding her family's history.
She's
and
basically the joke is because she's going to all these random ass places in the house and she's like kneeling down like it's just killing her baby inside.
And at 17, it raises a lot of uncomfortable questions.
I hear it's
Her
possible,
family
but
is supposedly
still,
cursed,
you know me.
with each relative dying at a young age in a unique way. Molly is the first family member that we explore. Most cliche name for a girl ever, I know. It starts off with her being locked in her room without dinner. I don't care if you don't like broccoli. Don't you know that there are starving Ugandan kids out there? Because of this, she finds random things.
That
in the
joke
room
is
for her to
inevitable.
eat. Even the most toxic of things, that being toothpaste and berries. She later gets hungry for a bird until she becomes a cat and other animals and eats what they all desire. She then becomes an owl and desires
I
to
like
eat a
that
rabbit.
speaking of Watchmen, I have a night owl ship from Watchmen, the three-eyed fish in real life, the genetically modified three-eyed fish that the Simpsons predicted, and Jaws.
She then becomes a shark and desires to eat a seal. And then she becomes a sea monster wanting to eat her own kind.
I gotta do
Guess
remasters
she's
of all
gone
these
from
videos.
Fidge to Dahmer, am I right? We
Fidge
then
to
later play as
Dahmer.
the monster heading back to Molly's room, to the point where the monster is now under her bed, and Molly wakes up, and now she knows about him. While we are left to assume that Molly is now dead, we see a cat on the outside of her bedroom window. While this could just be symbolism, it leads some people, including me, to believe that Molly is still alive.
You know what's weird? I'm the only YouTuber who actually pointed that out. And also, if you look around the room, Edith says, I feel like a part of Molly was still here. And next thing you know, you see a cat on the window. I believe that Molly is still alive. I believe it, people. Crucify me. Nah, I probably shouldn't say that. That's blasphemy, but yeah.
There's even hints about it throughout the game too, such as Edith finding a stray cat and Edie wanting to name that stray cat Molly. We also see that same stray cat in Lewis's part of the game. Barbara.
Yep, she's alive. She's alive. She's alive. Erda, your trained species ally is alive. I don't want to scream into the microphone.
Was a former famous child actor. Her story is told through a horror comic. Fun fact, in the 50s, horror comics were as big as superhero comics. Another
And then they were banned because a bunch of douchebag parents.
historical accuracy in the entertainment industry are toxic relationships.
Okay, so aside from all the pictures, all the wood carved pictures, I had to like go through gameplay videos and I had to like take screenshots on my OBS. So this video kind of took a long time to make. So yeah.
Relationships. Not only accurate in the time period, but something that still goes on to this day.
Yeah. That's going down in history for sure. That is the 2020's O.J. Simpson trial, definitely. She resulted in Aquaman 2 the bomb.
It's explained that because she's so famous, there are tons of theories about her and her Fast Dater's death. But the comic we read is
Fast Dater. I'll just leave it at this. Something was going on. You know, that's why I made that joke. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Something was going on.
likely that
Theorize
she's
all you
story.
want.
It was said that her boyfriend was trying to scare her in order to bring back her famous prepubescent scream. There's also a psycho killer who enters the house with John Carpenter's Halloween theme. Barbara.
Yeah, how are they able to afford that, or at least ask for that? But I mean, like, I know it's made by the same company that did Sausage Party. No, seriously, it is. They're both the same company. Like, you know, movies and video games, they have their own video game division, so yeah. But yeah, how are they able to do that? That's
Kills
impressive.
him, quote unquote, at first, until she is supposedly killed by tributes to Nosferatu, the Wolfman, and the Brain. But they were most likely
There actually are tributes, I must say.
stalkers. Can I join, please? It
Can
also
I
scares
join,
her
please?
brother Walter off into isolation. But we will explore that next.
Those who played the game would understand why I did that voice.
Walter, after the death of all of his siblings, basically committed a Bill from The Last of Us. The man-child stayed in his mother's basement for 30 years, with canned peaches as his go-to food. Come on, your mouth.
My mouth is mostly watering at the back. I don't know. It looks like nutritious egg yolks. I'm like licking my lips because
is
it
watering by
looks
that
kind of
image
good.
too. You can even open the cans as part of the gameplay, And yes,
True.
canned food can last a long time.
True.
It's like this game doesn't even want me to have flaws, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
After 30 years, he's tired of living the same day over and over again, so he decides to leave. And is later killed by an internet meme. After Walter's story, we see-
I should probably address this train picture right there. That's at a famous exhibit in Colorado. That train belongs to a famous train exhibit in Colorado. I've been to there a few times. So yeah, that's why I put it in there, you know. Again, really proud of my Colorado heritage. Sad thing, I'm gonna leave the state because Polis is making the state too expensive, and Polis is taking away my rights. So yeah,
that the train track is
you
destroyed.
damn Californians, go back to your own state. Go back to your own country.
So maybe this is a true story, but we'll get to that like very later. Also, just keep in mind, I never gave Calvin his own section because his story is less interesting to me.
Well, I still stand by that. Like, his story is less interesting to me. I kind of wish that I still made a segment about him, because, again, you know, but I do a good job, you know.
His death is an Elton John. What I like,
You plays him on a swing set, and his death is an Elton John. You know, I kind of... Oh, jeez Louise. I'm an idiot. I forgot about this. There are pictures. There are real-life pictures, you know, in this game, representing his life, representing Sam's life. Oh my god. How could I forget about that? Oh, and there's the wedding ring. That's cool. How could I forget about that? Ay caramba. Yeah, you know, there's a real Sam, there's a real Calvin, there's a real Edie. There was also a real Gregory and a real Gus. Oh, I wish I explained that in the video. I might do a part 2 to this.
That they make it clear that he's not a great father, not bad or abusive. He just wasn't perfect. He had an up and down relationship with his wife and had a strict chores list. And Edith's mom explains about his punishing tactics, such as him forcing her to go on a hunting trip, killing a deer, and her crying, and instead of thrashing out at her...
Yeah, that was a bit of a fuck-up. That wasn't I mean, he was a punisher, but he didn't punish her into going into hunting, but yeah, you know.
It's her cry, and says, "I'm proud of you." The gameplay style here is another favorite of mine in this game.
That right there, that is the camera from the Say Cheese and Die Goosebumps episode. And that kid who's taking the picture, that's Ryan Gosling. I'm not kidding you, that is Ryan Gosling. Hayden Christensen was also in the Goosebumps show too. I'm definitely gonna ask about that. But I already met Hayden Christensen, so I fucked up.
Pictures wherever you want, and the picture flipping after you took the picture.
Yeah, this game is perfect.
Pushed off the cliff by the deer his daughter shot. Gregory's story is one of the most heartbreaking. Well, it makes sense because he's a baby. And
yeah, me personally, I don't like babies, but the reason why a scene of a baby dying is sad, because it's not gonna have a future, alright? It's mindless, and it's not gonna have a fucking future, alright? That's why it's sad. Even baby haters can admit that. And by the way, this is a Willy Wonka.
It is explained that Gregory had a big imagination, seeing things that others couldn't. Okay, maybe it's a good thing that he died as a baby, because I do not want to know what imagination he has during tween years.
That's supposed to be a semi-sexual reference, because again, puberty, so yeah.
And was also a scary-ass baby. Man,
he was a scary-ass baby, because like, his wood carving, it like, shows him, like, with no teeth, he's, like, smiling. It's like, jeez Louise, what is this kid?
His death occurred during bath time, when his mother was forced...
I can't remember if this was a PNG image, or... I think it was a PNG image, or I took a picture of that as well on my OBS.
...to make a call with Sam. His imagination then runs wild, with all his bath toys dancing with Nutcracker music, which makes sense because classical music has a good effect on babies.
Yeah, true. Ooh, it helps babies focus, and you know, it also kind of brings a sense of nostalgia when they're older. Like, that's me when I was listening to Nutcracker music, like the overture, the first song. It's like, I heard this before. Like, I used to watch a show called Little Einsteins when I was a kid, so yeah. Like, when I hear music, I'm like, wow, this is bringing back so much. Maybe I'm not gonna get Alzheimer's.
When his mom comes back, Sam gives her another call.
Yeah, apparently babies did die in that, which I know you think babies are cute, but come on, this thing, it looks like it's either gonna hang the kid or he's gonna fall out. Apparently that was both the case. I saw Watch Mojo talk about it.
Because of his imagination, the bathtub overflows, and then he drowns. That's what you get for being annoying in public. This then causes Sam and his wife to get a divorce.
Easy. When I just
And
mentioned a
after learning
sad
about
scene, I'm
Sam,
just
maybe
like,
they
fuck
should.
it. I'm just
I have a few
ruining
theories
this for
on
you.
how Gregory died in the bath. Could his imagination have been real this whole time? Could Gregory turn the water back on? Or could Grandma Edie be the main reason of his death? From the looks of it, Gus looks like a troublemaker. He could be a goth, he could be a skater, mostly from his choice of clothing. Who knows? After Sam and Kay's divorce, see, I remember her name now, writer's block.
Yeah.
Gus never even wanted a new mother, nor a wedding in his backyard. Fair motivation?
Hey, look, he
So he
died the
decides
same
to
year
fly.
as John Belushi.
His kite in order to mess with the wedding. His part of the game is that with the kite, you pull all the wedding decorations and the dialogue in the sky to make it fly with the kite.
And then he shows his
Until
middle
he is
finger.
killed by the big
Fuck you,
tent.
parents. Fuck you,
You should've
parents.
went
You're not gonna
camping
have a
with your
wedding in my
brother before
backyard,
he died, you
motherfucker.
bastard. Is it just me or does Milton look Latino? He actually kinda
I
does
just
look Latino.
noticed this. Milton is actually Indian. So yeah, you know, if Milton could still be alive, then I think Molly's still alive. Come on, come on. Molly's still alive. Molly's still alive. I'm like Rafiki in that scene in The Lion King. He's alive! He's alive!
No to me. Anyway, Milton was an artist, and through a well-animated flipbook, good thing he wasn't rejected in West Europe, we
That's the
see
Hitler
why
joke.
he supposedly went missing. He found a magic paintbrush, then he went through a magic door. We even see the magic door in person in this game.
Yeah, I don't know why, but every time I play this game and I see that magic door, it kind of gives me the creeps a little, because that's what I know, you know, made him disappear. Like, it kind of does give me the creeps a little, you know?
You know what, I just want to knock at that door and go, "Hey, Milton, it's your sister! You're gonna be an uncle! Lewis is dead, and so is Mom. You're a jackass for never coming back." It's also hard to talk about Milton without talking about a game that came before
I
Edith
still
Finch.
never played that game. I still never played it, but I will. Oh, hey, Shadow. Sorry I didn't recognize you. Did you like my ranking? Yeah, it was okay. I mean, like, I wouldn't rank Quantum Mania lower than everything else, but, you know, I mean, I will say, The Flash is better than you say it is, and so is Elemental. And, Barbie, I have a feeling that you put Barbie up so high to troll with me, but hey, you know, stuff like that.
That being the Unfinished Swan, a game where you splat ink everywhere in order to summon a kingdom. The king in the game looks very similar to young Milton. You know, I wonder what a painting ghetto would be like. So
Because,
basically,
like, the ink is black, that's the joke.
this is the Edith Finch cinematic universe.
The Edith
This
Finch
also could support
cinematic
my theory
universe.
that Molly could
Oh my god, release the lore. This is the lore we need. Fuck Five Nights at Freddy's.
still be alive. Maybe the curse isn't just death. Maybe you just disappear and never come back. Lewis is the second saddest story in the game.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not-
Lewis wasn't finished. That's a reason.
Said, it is hinted that Lewis had depression, and because of that, he fell into addiction of the Colorado drug. After he was
The
sober,
Colorado
Lewis
drug, it's supposed to be weed, you know? Oh, trust me, again, I live in Colorado. I see the city of Denver, like, all the time, so yeah. Nah, Barbie is higher. I had too much fun. I knew Animat was indoctrinating you. It's a joke, but, yeah, to each their own.
got a job at the cannery, a place where you turn fish into food. In the words of Kid Cudi, day and night,
That's the most fucked up. That's one of the most fucked up images I've ever put in a video. Kid Cudi.
the lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. And we get a
I know
perfect
it's Lonely
example
Stoner,
with an
but
amazing gameplay
Lonely Loner is the like the censored version, which I kind of like that version better. You know,
style of Lewis's imagination.
that's
while you chop
Gondor
up
from Lord of
fish
the
at
Rings.
same time.
Is it Gondor?
You can even do both with the same controller. His imagination goes way out of hand, to the point that he never comes home from work. His story ends
To the
with
point
him
where
being
he
killed
never
on a
comes home
guillotine
from work.
before
Let that
being
sink
crowned
in.
king. My main theory is that because he imagined a guillotine, he purposefully tried to kill himself.
No shit, he
One of the
purposely
most
tried to
sad
kill himself.
and relatable moments in this game.
Yeah, let me tell you, alright, get the tissues, people, get the tissues, Shadow, because you're the only person in here. The second person's my phone. Alright, let me tell you why this is relatable. So, you know, I don't have depression, everyone goes through a mental health crisis once in a while, you know. Like, I felt like I was lonely at one point, because I never really had a lot of friends in school, you know. Like, I was kind of lonely in some other places. And, you know, I imagine a world where I was like that. And then I discovered that there are more and more people who liked me, and I'm not going to fault myself because I just didn't know better. But hey, you know. You better be crying your ass off, Shadow.
Great Grandma Edie is the longest living
Or else I'm going to leak some bad stuff to Alejandro. So yeah.
family member. For that reason alone, and what happens in each story, and choices of dialogue used later in the game, hint that all the stories are fake, and she was the one behind it all. And the fact that Edith is named after Edie herself makes sense story-wise. Mostly cause main character and Queen Elizabeth being related.
She kind of does look like
Edith
Queen
Finch
Elizabeth.
is a Rorschach's test. Everyone has an interpretation of the story. At the end of the game, you play as Edith's son coming out of Jojo Siwa's favorite object.
Jojo
And it turns out
Siwa's
that the whole
favorite
game was
object.
Edith's son reading her journal she was writing throughout the whole game. And the same kid died of AIDS 2 weeks later.
The same kid died of AIDS 2 weeks later. I love this. I love that video. Yes, your boyfriend. And yes, if you really think about it, we actually do come out of a vagina in that game. So yeah, the Jojo Siwa joke, it's because she's a lesbian. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna end off with these two videos right here, and then I'm gonna do a third parter because it's 10 o'clock at night, of course. But yeah. Alright, I'm pretty sure Shadow has been looking forward to this one, I must say. Fuck. It happens sometimes.
Why is he running so slow?
Okay. I really hope there was no connection error. Nah, there was some dropped frames, but hey, I can go with it. Yeah. Alright. Stop, I'm gonna keep trolling you with Luna. Okay. Alright, warning, this is a critique mixed in with my sense of humor. There are offensive and political jokes not fit for everyone. You have been warned, people. And people got pissed off anyway. Hold on. While I watch this, how did you and Alejandro
a
met?
video with a title like this was inevitable.
Shadow, how did you and Alejandro met? I'm gonna watch this while you keep typing that, so yeah.
First off, no, the show does not work for me because I'm Christian. I'm not saying the show is evil.
I will say this, I've been getting really close to God in like the past few months. Like, you know, like I went to church on Christmas Eve and you know, I felt like I was at home, you know, stuff like that. You know, if it's possible, I identify as like a Christian Catholic. Like, you know, I have mostly Christian values, yet I find some Catholic stuff pretty satisfying. Like, you know, like the hand gesture and like the repent. Fortnite, yeah, makes sense. But yeah. But yeah, you know, I go over mostly Christian stuff, so yeah, you know. If that's a thing, leave in the comments below, people, so yeah.
Well, because it takes place in hell, even though some of the material in it, even the plot synopsis, kind of makes me uncomfortable a bit. I mostly wanted to make this video on a critical perspective, and that critic just happens to be a diehard Christian, who is probably more than likely hated
And
by
of
the
course
creators
I've been
of the show,
and of
but
course I've been reading the Bible a lot more, and I've been looking at stuff. I've been reading a bunch of stories, doing a bunch of research a lot more, so yeah, you know.
I also won't be giving any Bible verses or history lessons in this video. I'll save that for my Hasbin Hotel review, if I ever do one. And this is also probably going to be my most popular video because no one cares about the stuff I actually make on this channel. Imperious
I was right.
Rex! First,
Okay,
we have
so if no one knows what Imperious Rex is is Namor's battle cry in the comics. So yeah. There's like 100 Marvel references in this video. I could admit that that's gone on way too long.
the hell of a boss himself, Blitz. He's the one who cracks the most bad jokes, and will never surpass Ted as one of the funniest comedic characters of all time.
Yeah,
He
Blitz
also has
is nowhere near Ted. He is nowhere near Ted. But think of a quote. What are you doing jerking off? What are you? Where do you think you are, Red Lobster or something? I love both movies.
The desire to bang his employees. I appreciate Viv for making a politically incorrect joke with this, but what I'm trying to say is, Viv and her fanbase are a bunch of fragile fat women whose only film achievements are the Pitch Perfect movies. What I'm saying is, I'm surprised.
Burn! Anyway, the entire joke of that, the entire point of that was like, given how woke Vivzy is and how woke some of her fans are, I could tell because of the comments of my fucking video. I'm surprised no one attempted to cancel the show yet. He's not a Ted, but he's fine. Yeah, whatever.
No one has complained about this yet.
Fuck you, Thunder! You could suck my dick. Love that movie.
We'll get to other stuff about his character once we explore the other characters first. There's Moxie, voiced by Chaos!
Okay, I should probably explain something real quick. First of all, I grew up with Skylanders. I was a huge fan of it when I was a kid. I remember those old days. Too bad it ended in 2016. But anyway, I'm gonna say something that I don't think I've said on the internet before, or at least on YouTube. Skylanders is actually where I got my name, Undead. Yeah, because of the undead element, that's why I call myself Undead. So yeah, you know, thought it was really cool.
They're so superior to us just because we want some selfish, greedy, authoritarian capitalist to keel over dead.
Liberals! Anyway, I'll stop. Yeah, I need to lay off the politics. I hate Mox. Why do you hate Mox? But, yeah. You know, for most people grew up with Richard Horvitz. I actually met Richard Horvitz in real life. I posted a picture. He's really cool, you know. Like, you know, he embraces the nostalgia factor, you know. Every time he's signing a picture, he does, like, the impressions of everyone. God, he was really cool, you know. Again, it was kind of embarrassing to come up with him because there were a lot of people in Hell of a Boss cosplays while I was seeing him because Skylanders and shit. So, yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm the odd man out. I'm the only guy who remembers Skylanders.
First of all, you changed. Second of all, I didn't know Viv and her crew were communist. Moxie is meant
Billy
to be
is very forgettable. Yeah, that's what I said in this review also. Okay, so I was originally going to keep speaking of this video, I was originally going to keep the Soviet Union theme, but the first video, which was part 1, it got a copyright claim for some reason, so I decided to leave it out cuz I want to get monetized. Oh, we're getting to that.
Straight man. Well,
Hold on. I think my dogs are barking outside. They bark all the time.
also being in love with Michelle Garvey.
Okay,
No,
let me give you the
seriously,
context behind that joke. Michelle Garvey. She was a 1980s murder victim from Texas. So I need to find something like that because I'm kind of into that subject a little. I should do more videos on that, like murder victims. Like, cases that were never solved. I mean, Michelle Garvey was solved just recently, but she died in the 80s, you know? But yeah.
They played their relationship up to about an 11 here. I like the
I
episode-
just watched a movie called The Saint. Like, it stars Val Kilmer, and I'm doing a review on it, actually. I hope I do a review on it. But in that movie, they definitely play the love interest relationship up to about 11.
So where Moxie is pessimistic about killing an entire family.
Understandable. But to eradicate an entire innocent, seemingly in this instance, upper middle class family.
Was that meant to be a commentary, or was that meant to be the next Lord of the Rings opening? Because either way, it still sucks.
Yeah, I've been injecting my politics throughout this video. I'll admit to that.
I also need to mention that in episode 6, which is well animated by the way, there's a reason why I'm showing this clip, they have a character development story about Blitz not using Moxie as a punching bag anymore, later for Moxie to become a punching bag again in later episodes.
Yep.
So, what's the point? Damn, he really does love committing a spacey, doesn't he?
Kevin
Before we-
Spacey joke. Kevin Spacey joke. Okay, I'll stop. Sorry, I had a burp for a second. Yeah, apparently Kevin Spacey was found innocent recently. I mean, apparently it's been going on for years, so yeah.
Before we get to Millie, I need to mention that a lot of the female characters don't get a lot of time in the spotlight. Mostly because Vizzy said she wants Helluva to be a male demographic show. Which again, I do appreciate Viv for taking such a risky writing style.
Yeah, nowadays we have gender politics affecting everything, so yeah.
But again, if you're gonna have 2 female characters in the main cast and a bird lady, which we'll get to later,
bird
you have to do
lady.
what's best for the show and not for a demographic. Picture the first issue of X-Men. They introduce Jean Grey, and then they reduce her to a background or cameo character.
Yeah, I want to do a comic dub of the original issue, mostly because I want to voice Iceman, because Iceman's my favorite X-Man of all time, but yeah.
In fact, why not make this show all dudes? You could have had Millie be a guy, or have the entire business be just Blitz or Moxie. By the way, if you're looking for me to say that Millie should have been a dude because of the sake of representation, you come to the wrong person. I'm not Shay Frillis. Anyway,
Oh, Shay Frillis burn right there, people.
Millie is a Mary Sue. Watch every single episode and count how many times
Yeah,
A,
yeah,
she
she's like the
saves
constant
Moxie,
ass
or
kicker
B, becomes a
of the
murderous
group.
animal. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is that Millie is a completely useless character whose only character traits is that she's a badass, she's Moxie's wife, they are wildly in love, and she's a redneck. Next up is
Alright, Shadow, this is the moment you've been looking for.
Luna, who is my second favorite character in the show for obvious reasons.
There, I admit it. Again. And, I mean, Shadow has no clue what it's like to be straight, but hey.
Okay, for all the internet trolls who want to label me with these dykes right here, think of
I'm surprised that people were mad at the upcoming joke that I'm about to make, but people were not mad about the lesbian slur that I use, like dyke. How come people weren't mad about that?
it this way. Heterosexuals are just like bisexuals.
There
People
it
who
is, the joke that got everyone in the comments pissed. There it is. Because people don't know how to take a joke.
Aroused 24/7 because there's constantly men and women in public. But replace men with more women. What I mean
The fucking irony. I put like a really gay picture of Namor.
to say is that I can't control if I find a woman attractive. Anyway,
But I will say this. Her voice actress Erica Lindbeck is actually kind of attractive in real life, I must say. You know, stuff like that.
remember when I made that background or cameo character joke earlier? Well, that's who Luna is here. Sometimes she plays a big role. Most of the time, she's either a cameo character.
Okay, I should probably explain this real quick. So the music playing in the background, that is actually music from a theme park, Universal Studios, the Doctor Doom ride. Yeah, it's probably the best Doctor Doom theme I've ever heard
Or she doesn't have a
because it's
speaking
like an
line
imperial country theme.
at all, or is in the background and not in it at all. And it's kind of missed potential, especially for IMP, because come on, she's a giant werewolf. These three are indigenous people. You could have made her
The
your
indigenous people because they're red.
thing of your Fantastic Four. I'll admit,
She is kind of comparable to the Thing the more I think about it. She kind of is, because he's a dick, she's a dick, he's a likable dick, she's not, but yeah.
I like the idea of Blitz adopting her later in life because it's a different perspective of a character, and it's a subversion of when we think he adopted her. Guess Viv hates all the fan art too. And
Yeah, I will say that. I did thought he adopted her when she was like a baby, so yeah.
also admit I like the idea of making her shy because it adds some character to her. By the way, if you can't tell what I'm showing you already, they rely way too much on cute scenes with this character in particular.
Oh, hell yeah, they do. Hell yeah, they do. I just noticed this. The skirt is like a green screen, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Oh, shut. I want a shot. Give me a shot.
Yeah, why is she crying? Why is she leaving and crying?
Why are you leaving and crying, you dumb Caucasian wolf? Michael Clark Duncan over here is the one who invited you. And
In
Madonna.
case y'all don't know, y'all Shadow, Michael Clark Duncan, he's a black guy, that's the main joke, but again, he's a very special actor, you know. He died back in 2012. He was a good actor. He was in Armageddon. He was in Green Mile. He was in that crappy Daredevil movie that I did a review of. He was also a voice actor. He voiced one of the villains in God of War too. He died way back in 2012. So yeah, a long time. So yeah.
Who's the host of the party is pretty welcoming, so what's wrong with you, bitch?
That's just the start of my favorite joke in this video.
Oh, don't worry, Looney. It's okay. It's just one little prick. You won't feel it.
I will say I like the reflection animation they got. Okay, since we're on Green Mile, I know. Yeah, that's a good movie. I will. Okay, so I've got this robot chicken part because you know, I'm a huge Robot Chicken fan. I've been watching it since I was 11. But I asked the man, the myth, the legend himself. I'll let that go into your head. I asked the man, the myth, the legend himself if he's seen the skit. He said yes, and he said it's hilarious. I'm not gonna say who it is, but you'll figure it out.
So she's a human wolf who lives in hell, and
I kind of
I got it.
Part of me wishes that I kind of got a real Blue's Clues clip, but you know, I'm happy with the one I got. So yeah.
There's no narrative reason on why Luna needs a shot. It's just there for cute purposes. In fact, if this character needs a shot, does that mean Lon Chaney Jr. also needs a shot? Does that mean Wolfsbane from the X-Men also needs a shot?
Hell no, I hope not.
Does that mean Harrison Ford in Anchorman 2 also needs a shot?
He's a were hyena.
Ah, I love that movie. He's a were hyena.
Are they all gonna act like this if they need said shot? Please, Vivzy, the internet already ruined Smash Brothers. I don't need them ruining all the stuff I love. That's been the Alpha Male stuff!
You can tell I have fun with that Schwarzenegger impression. The entire point of that joke was that Smash Bros. Has been turned to something cutesy. Go check Gabaless videos. It's a prime example. But overall, that's the context behind the joke.
As for everything else about Luna, well...
He's an asshole.
You can
Back
have a
to the
character be an
future.
asshole or have rage issues and be likable at the same time if done right. You can have a character who's so comedic that you can't help but like him because he's an asshole. Or you could have a
I was gonna
manly,
put
smart
the
out-
Thing or Wolverine in that. I was originally gonna do that, but I decided to choose Rocket because he was more relevant. Stuff like that. But Jack Burton, oh, I love that movie. Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, great movie.
like to the point where you cannot help but love him.
You'll
for that
love it,
reason
Shadow.
alone. Luna fits into none of those categories. She's either a snotty bitch or
Oh, fuck, Blitz! Why can't you stay out of my face for like 5 minutes?
Because I adopted you. And that should mean something.
Oh, what does it matter? You're not my real dad. I was
You notice
almost
how the hair
18.
is like in her fucking eye? You noticed that? You noticed that too?
Still counts.
Well, it shouldn't. I didn't need you then, asshole. I don't now.
what the hell was that? I get that you say he constantly nags you, but at the same time, there's a reason
Yeah, I'll
why
admit,
we
because of
adults,
this
and some
upcoming-
of us adults at heart,
Yeah, I'll admit, some parts I have scripted, some parts I have unscripted, you know, stuff like that.
Hate
but
young adults.
that's basically changed
even
now.
when they attempt to do an apology story, it never gets resolved at the end, and in some episodes where Luna has a conflict with Blitz or someone else, it still never gets resolved. And trust me, it gets better.
Oh, Blitz finally talked to her about her attitude with clients.
I just think some small tweaks might help you be more of a people person, you know?
I am a people person. If I'm so terrible, how about you just grow a pair and replace me?
So, what's wrong with that exactly? Is he trying to get you to reenact all the fetishes the internet has about you as a punishment? Even
Don't look it up. I swear to God, don't look it up.
in the episode centered around her, she's unlikable.
And he's giving off a very not okay vibe.
Also,
You know-
be honest, furries, do you like Luna because, you know, she's a deep and complex character? No, you like her because she gives you a boner and that's it.
Oh, yeah. And I bet you'd know the okay vibe, right? I mean, everyone likes you so much.
Bruh, Hannah Montana just shared her concerns for your
You
father,
fucking
and yet
joke.
you're just spaz out at her like that? Seriously, Joan Jett has every right to devour you here.
Especially dads. And sometimes they fuck up. Well, all the time.
What does he fuck up exactly? Seriously, who wrote this character? Kathleen Kennedy?
I wish I made this video a lot later so I could put in like the South Park scene where Eric Cartman's like, put a chick in it, make her lame and gay.
Speaking of Whitney Houston, this is a good transition point. I like that Vizzy Pop was able to get Katy Perry in the show because she was one of her favorite singers in the early days of the internet.
I
And
just
it
keep
opens
mistaken.
the door
I just
for
keep
more smaller-
mistaking her for like a different female singer. Like, yeah. I know that she's Rihanna, but come on, it's still
careers to do
funny.
the same thing. And as a wannabe filmmaker myself, don't be shocked if I ever get Steve Perry in a future work of mine.
Yeah, where the fuck are all the compliments? I mean, there are some compliments, but there's not a compliment on a single part I made. It's always nitpicking, like, what do you mean you think about that with bisexuals? I don't know, maybe you should put that shit down and, you know, go to, like, philosophy class and tell you why I think the way I do.
Anyway, now back to me being a Nazi. Need I remind you that
Yeah, Nazi. I just call myself a Nazi because I'm stupid.
B is Taylor
No
Swift's
other
self-insert.
excuse.
She's an alcoholic, she swears a lot, she's sexy, she uses the E in her music. All of them issues the real
Yeah, she
Amy
is
Winehouse
Miley
went
Cyrus's
through.
self-insert.
I also like how she's nice, unlike everyone else. Which is making me question if the Britney Spears self-insert was on purpose.
Britney Spears.
Now let's move on to other side characters. I don't have much to say about Veronica, but I do appreciate Viv and Brandon for sexualizing a lot of their female characters. I mean, hell, we live in a time where these two are allowed to work in the industry.
Anita Sarkeesian and Victoria Alonso. I hate those two women because I hate women, and no other reason except they're just obnoxious C words.
You could have a field day in the writers' room
I'm not
if
in
you
the
want to
mood to be
commentate on this
accused of
subject.
anything.
I also appreciate Viv and Brandon for doing their research, such as Asmodeus being the king of lust.
Yeah. They really
Beelzebub
did do their research like pretty good, you know.
being the queen of gluttony. And I kind of like Stryker, mostly because of his design and the fact that he's played by Scud? Scud from Blade 2?
The irony is I made a Blade
Does that mean
2
Wesley Snipes is
video
gonna be in the
after
show
this.
next? I'm begging you, Vizzy, please don't do it. Here come the men in black. I'll admit, I like their story
They won't let you remember.
about them hunting IMP. You sure they're not the good guys here? And did I forgot to mention that they always set up reoccurring villains? Jeez Louise. Take notes from Clone Wars, as in do all the arcs of the villains in one. Moving
Love
on
that
to
show.
the Goetia family. Stolas is an obnoxious, gross, gay stereotype, and I hate him.
Yep, he
We'll
is
get
quite
to
the
stereotypes
stereotype.
thing later. I will talk about this real quick. In the pilot and in the first few episodes, they hint at Blitz wanting to bang Stolas for the sake of the book and his job. In episodes
Yeah,
2
this
and
show's
5,
pretty
they
bad
made it
at
seem
writing,
like
I must
Blitz
say.
hated Stolas. And then in the next episode, they turn him into his Elton John and his Ian McKellen.
The
like,
joke
shortly
is that
after.
they're both
Someone
gay.
was paid to
Both
animate
those
that
celebrities are
kissing
gay.
scene, by the way, I really hope you got paid well, and I really hope you're, you know, having fun jerking off. Anyway, yeah. So how was work at Spindle Horse, honey? Oh, it was great. I had to animate a bird and a red thing kissing. Like, their tongues were so together, like... Okay, we're getting a divorce. Osama, R.L. Stein, you're both coming with me. Now let's head on
Osama.
to the villain, quote-unquote, of this show. By the way, the mishmash of episodes she's in is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. By the way, the choice of dialogue that Stella, Stolas, and Octavia all use made it seem like that they were once a happy family.
Fuck this one too!
No, of course not.
You are a goddamn embarrassment. I'm not spending another moment
Oh
looking
yeah,
at your
I also need to mention this real quick. I watched a Cell Specs video because I grew up watching Cell Specs, and you know, the moment she said she doesn't have any of this, she doesn't have any of the stuff Stolas has because patriarchy and stuff like that, I just stopped watching because, again, and I'm tired of that shit being shoved in my face. But hey, you know, why is everyone getting political? It makes no sense.
Imp sucking face!
I just want to go home. But home doesn't even feel like home anymore. You ruined it.
There's also this picture up there. Even in other pieces of dialogue, they made it seem like she was betrayed.
I want this cheating.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the
for
stream after we get to the
debt.
Octavia part.
I don't care who you have to go through. Make it happen!
But there is one good thing to come out of this flimsy
Yeah, I'm surprised no one has talked about this either.
And Krill says,
I don't care what your arrogant brother thinks.
I dropped my jaw to the ground when I first saw this scene. Because again, these two. In more recent years,
Feminazis.
we've always been taking the women's side when it comes to abusive
How
relationship
feminist Hitler.
allegations, which we had every right to do
Hitler.
that because women were long victims of abuse. Because ever since Willy Wonka over here, or more as in 2023 recent Jonathan Majors, we've become more
Jonathan
open-minded
Majors.
about abusive
This age great.
relationships.
This age fucking great, because he's guilty, boys. Well, he's not guilty. He's, like, been fired, but yeah.
Whether it be the wife is the one who is emotionally abusive, or the wife is just a jealous bitch. So I've grown to like this flimsy storytelling a lot more for that reason alone. Next up is my favorite character in the show, Octavia. The reason why she's my favorite character is because they put all the crude jokes aside in order to focus on more serious subjects with her.
Yeah.
But her intro is very weak.
Daddy,
Yeah, they rely way
Daddy.
too much on cuteness in this
I
show.
had a dream. A really bad dream.
A nightmare.
I was looking all over the palace, and I couldn't find you anywhere. You would?
Really? That's the best nightmare you could come up with? You could have gotten anything, and it could have gotten me, personally, a cry. But you went with nothing. Here are a few things that I think would have worked better. I was being chased by a monster! He was so ugly and scary and had a big thrubby You locked me in a closet and you beat me with a belt! I never knew you were this cruel! Oh, thank God it's not the real you! Joe Biden compared the Maui wildfires to his house fire back in
Okay,
2004.
okay. Not only did I do that joke because, like, the satire of political jokes, but I also did it as a payback because so many people like to bitch about Trump. So I'm like, okay, you bitch about Trump when I don't want to hear it. I'm gonna bitch about the one you like if you don't want to hear it, because payback, you know.
And his house fire wasn't even that bad! Okay, maybe not anything, I just need to get that off my chest. Also, yeah, sing your daughter a song about the end of the world, because that would definitely put her to sleep. All that aside, her relationship with Stolas is actually pretty decent. And there's a reason why I called her my favorite character, because everyone else is such an obnoxious, sexually obsessed cunt. Also,
That's the
remember how I
first
criticized
C-bomb
this show
I've ever
for
dropped
its
in a video
male
ever.
demographic,
I'm proud of
centric,
it.
Whatever, quote unquote. It's still a shame because the voice actress of Octavia is the same voice actress as Anaxinamen from the 1932 classic The Mummy. Why would you waste such an iconic role from 90
I'm pretty sure the
years
joke
ago
explains for
a
itself.
small role like this?
Are you gonna run off with him? And leave me behind? Go away where I can't find you?
Figure of myself. It is my coffin made by my father against my death. What mummy has usurped my eternal resting place?
Alright, that's it for the night. I'll be back tomorrow night, hopefully. I mean, like, I didn't do a stream last night because, you know, I was very, very tired, so yeah. And, yeah, that's the end of the stream, and I'll